Namaste, everyone. Hello. Happy World Press Freedom Day. Ma'ali ali nepali bochu. Very ali ali. So I hope that you can understand me. Okay? Please, if you have questions, ask me anytime. Speaking of World Press Freedom, I teach in college about the First Amendment in the United States. Have you guys ever heard of it? Of course. It's all about the freedom of speech and the freedom of press. So it's so nice to meet you all. My name is Lauren Yanks, and my first question is, where are all the women reporters? Who here? Why so little? I see my daughter back there. I see one. Yes. Where are they? We're not getting the women's voices, the girls' voices. Half, if not 52% of this room should be girls and women covering this. A little bit about me. I'm not sure what you've heard so far. I came to Nepal about 15 years ago to learn about trafficking because I was reading a lot about children's trafficking and trafficking of women into the sex industry and many other things. So I came as a journalist to write about it, but I also came as an educator and worked with many of these women and girls who had been rescued. And I also taught many little kids, and I fell in love with Nepal because you're very lovable. Yes? Okay. So, but I came here and I felt that the education needed a lot of improvement. It was a lot by rote, and there needed to be a greater emphasis on a girl's education. And that is something that I feel very passionately about and what the Blue Butterfly Foundation represents. Okay? Are you understanding me? Any questions so far? Can you say, woohoo! World Press Freedom Day, woohoo! Okay. I take one sip of Coca-Cola Zero because I am addicted, which is very American of me. Okay. I'm going to give you some statistics, and then I'm going to tell you the two projects that we're doing. When a girl is educated, when a woman knows how to read, her child has a 50% more chance of living. Okay? It spreads out to the whole family. When a woman makes money, she puts 90% of those earnings back into her family and the community. How much percentage do you think men give back from their earnings? According to the United Nations. Any guesses? 30%. 30%. What are you all doing? Terrible men. I'm just kidding. So, it totally changes the dynamics of a society when you have half of the brain power getting educated and getting empowered and having a voice and working in, say, journalism and utilizing their free speech. When women are empowered, there is less war, there is better health care, there is better education, there is less corruption. Not that Nepal would know about that. Okay? So there are so many reasons to really emphasize education of girls, and we need to raise the consciousness of both the women and the men to understand that if you want to have an innovative and creative society, you need to make sure that everybody is being stimulated up here. Thank you. So, now I want to go into the two main projects that we are doing at the Blue Butterfly Foundation. But first I want to ask, any questions at all? Are you a little afraid of me? I won't bite. Maybe it bite a little. Okay, so the first thing we're doing right now, before COVID, I used to come all the time, and I lived here for 2 years as a visiting professor, and I started many different schools for the poorest of the poor. And then COVID hit, and I could not come here for a while. So I started to work with the Nepalese immigrant population in New York, specifically the women. There are many, many Nepalese immigrants in New York who are living in very, very difficult circumstances. And they are away from their families, and they do not have their support system. So we are creating a resource center that offers language skills, training, how to work in America, cultural competency, legal help, and all the things and mental health, all the things that are really getting in the way. There's a lot of people who think that coming to America, their troubles will be over and everything is paved with gold. But instead they come, they're exploited, often trafficked, and living in very dire circumstances. So one of our programs is to create this resource center and help the immigrants that are there that are drowning and living in very difficult situations. Our second project now is also taking the kids that I've worked with for many years and have supported. There are some who rise to the top, and I'm bringing them to the United States to get an education for college so that they can come back and be the future leaders of Nepal. Right now, I have 4 kids that I brought over. 2 of them are living with me. They're going to be human rights lawyers. One is now running a Harvard's Center for Cancer. Very wonderful. And now I'm bringing over 2 young women, both of who are here today. And they want to come back, all of them, when they are done with their education, and create more equity in Nepal, more gender equality, greater justice, raise their voices for the men and the women, for the education, and for any other injustices that rise up. And so we are raising funds to help gain their education and also to help with the children that we support and educate here as well. Now, I've talked for a while. I would love if any of you had any questions or thoughts. Were you able to understand me? Yes? No? Ali? What? What are they saying? Where do... Okay. I need one of my girl translators.
What about your opening in Nepali media industry?
Say that again?
The Nepali media industry, what is your view right now?
I've heard many nightmare stories through the years. I've lived here for 15 years. It does seem like it's getting better, but the free press is the cornerstone of a democracy, a healthy democracy. It cannot be understated. Without a free press, there can't be democracy. I read the newspapers when I'm here every day, and it seems to me that you guys are doing a good job, that it's getting better. For the last 16 years that I've been coming, I have noticed in the English papers that I read a much higher quality. Do you feel that it's getting better?
महिलाहरू छ नि, त्यसको त्यो महिलाहरूको बारेमा भने स्पेसल्ली डकुमेन्टेसन व्यक्तिलाई जस्तो अलिक ट्राफिकिङ अनि अर्को ह्यारेसमेन्ट राम्रो छ स्ट्रेस छ
Where did my girls go? Kibita? Come here, be my translators. They ran away. You're my translators. Where are you?
I got an important call.
Okay.
ओके सोधौँ त
Hello.
Who wants to ask me another question? This is what I try to do. I want you to think critically. Here I am, some weirdo American woman from New York. I look different from you. I'm very, very pale. I live in a very big city in the world's only superpower. There must be something that interests you, yes? You can sit back there and just translate.
गुड आफ्टरनुन म्याम
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you.
मैले नेपालीमा सोध्छु इङ्ग्लिसमा अलिकति व्याकरण मिस्टेक छ
No problem.
वर्ल्डमा 216वटा भन्दा बढी राष्ट्रहरू छन् ती राष्ट्रहरूमा लगभग अधिकांशमा तपाईँ सम्भवतः घुम्नुभयो होला अमेरिकाबाट रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईँ बिलोङ्स गर्नुहुन्छ नेपालमै तपाईँले यो समाज सेवा किन गर्न रुचाउनु भयो बाँकी देशमा किन गर्नु भएन त्यो प्रश्न
Okay, there are like around 216 countries in the world. And why did you choose Nepal?
चुज द नेपाल
I think Nepal chose me. I had been reading, as I said, I was always very interested in children's rights and in human rights. I've also always been very interested in the Hindu tradition and the South Asian tradition. And I was doing some reading about specifically Nepalese girls as a small landlocked country between these two rising industrial giants being abused. And I came here, I don't know why. Who knows? It is a mystery. But when I came here and got off the plane, I said, this is home. I felt this is home. I have traveled around the world. I have not felt like that before. It is you.
थ्याङ्क यू
Maybe my past life, I think. Who knows? But there, at the same time, there's an openness I find in Nepal that warms my heart. There is an openness that is there. There's a lot of things that are need work, like any society, and a lot of darkness and a lot of poverty and a lot of gender inequality. But there's also a great beauty outside and in the people. All right, I want another question. Really hard hitting. It's World Press Freedom Journalism Day. Come on.
Dynamic lady is a great successful lady in the world. Maren, any questions?
Where are the women?
What question?
Where did the one girl go?
Namaste.
Hi.
Okay.
What is your tobacco number?
मैले चाहिँ नेपालमा काम सुरु गरिसकेको हो कि अब सुरुवात गर्ने हो कि सुरु गरेको छ भने कताबाट सुरु गर्नु भएको छ भने
Did he ask why I'm so beautiful?
Yeah, beautiful question.
Yeah, I don't know. It just came that way.
Mom, everybody knows you're beautiful. The question is, he is telling you that if you have already started the work, or are you willing to start the work? Like, when are you going to start the work?
Oh, that's a good question. So I've been doing this work for 15 years. I already have, I've been doing the work nonstop. It's exhausting and frustrating, and honestly, it can be frustrating. A woman coming from New York where things are so like this, and then in Nepal, you know, time, etc. But if anybody wants to be a part of it or help, we are very open. I would love to have help if you'd like to be a part of it. So yes, we've opened a resource center in New York. I've opened a number of schools here. I started a college that focused on liberal arts and the humanities because there's not enough liberal arts and humanities education here. So I've been doing this work on some level, in some way, for 16 years, dealing with sometimes some very bad, difficult, distressing things. But ultimately, it's a very beautiful, fulfilling work. Did I answer your question? Was that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
हस्पिटल कहाँ बन्ने हो कहिले बन्ने
So Rishi sir told that you're about to construct one, maybe some kind of hospital. So he was asking like, when are you doing that? Where will that be?
कति सयको बन्न आँटे हो कस्तो प्रकारको
Rishi, you'll have to tell me where it is again. So, Rishi was telling me last night that there is an area here where there's a lot of accidents and no health care, a lot of vehicle accidents, and many, many people die there. Now, he told me that before he knew that my own darling, beloved stepdaughter died in her own tragic vehicle accident in a developing nation. When she was studying environmental sustainability in Costa Rica, my daughter died in a tragic vehicle accident. So he has said, he was telling me about this area, and he will let you know where it is. I forget where it is. And that we are going to support, the Blue Butterfly is going to help build a hospital in this area where many people seem to die and the roads are terrible.
Any other question?
All right, I want a question from the young lady.
नेपालीबाट भन्दैन न यहाँ के भन्नु
Why don't I speak Nepali?
No, why don't I translate that in English?
Okay.
So उहाँले भन्नुभएको चाहिँ You move out.
सो उहाँले भन्नुभएको चाहिँ फर्स्टदेखि के त्यो हस्पिटलको कुरा मात्रै हस्पिटलको कुरा चाहिँ उहाँहरूको ब्लू बटरफ्लाई फाउन्डेसन छ नि सो हाम्रो एरिया कता भन्नुभएको थियो ऋषि सरले चाहिँ यत्रो सुन्दैन अझै ओके सो they're just teasing me. Anyway, so Blue Butterfly फाउन्डेसनले चाहिँ ऋषि सरसँग कोलाबोरेट गरेर जुन एरियामा चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै एक्सिडेन्ट भएको छ नि त्यो ठाउँ चाहिँ हेर्नु भएको छ भन्नुभएको छ क्या सो उहाँहरूले चाहिँ हस्पिटल सुरु गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ कुरा गर्नुभएको हो अब त्यो अब आउने इयरमा चाहिँ स्टार्ट हुन्छ भने अब एक्ज्याक्टली यही डेटमा यति भनेर चाहिँ छैन सुरु चाहिँ त्यो गर्ने भनेको छ तपाईँ क्वेसन के थियो फेरि भन्नु न हजुर 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 ओके सो उहाँको चाहिँ यो ब्लू बटरफ्लाई उहाँ चाहिँ फर्स्टमा चाहिँ एउटा जर्नलिस्ट जस्तो भएर आउनु भएको थियो क्या नेपालमा अलमोस्ट लाइक 20 इयर्स अगो भनौँ न 20 वर्ष अगाडि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ धापासीमा एउटा हस्टेल थियो उहाँ चाहिँ एउटा भलेन्टियरिङको लागि मात्रै आउनु भएको थियो के रहेछ कसो रहेछ भनेर बुझ्नलाई अनि यहाँ बुझ्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ यहाँनिरको अब्युजिभ हुन्छ नि जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो महिला दिदी बहिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ सेक्सुअल अब्युज भयो तपाईँहरूको स्लेभरी सिस्टम्सहरू भयो नेपाल इन्डियामा अब गएर बेचबिखन गर्ने ट्राफिकिङ गर्ने धेरै हुन थालेपछि चाहिँ उहाँले चाहिँ अब म यो कुरामा चाहिँ काम गर्छु भनेर चाहिँ यो फाउन्डेसन ब्लू बटरफ्लाई फाउन्डेसन चाहिँ खोल्नु भएको हो तर त्यो मेन उद्देश्य चाहिँ उहाँको आफ्नो छोरीको पनि देहान भएको थियो त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ स्टार्ट भयो अनि कोभिड हिट भइसकेपछि लगभग 2-3 वर्षको लागि चाहिँ उहाँ नेपालमा पनि आउनु भएन कतै पनि जानु भएन किनकि हामी त जानै पाउँदैनौँ थियौँ नि त त्यस पछाडि चाहिँ अब फेरि सबै स्टार्ट भयो अनि त्यही भएर नेपाल आएर अब फेरि स्टार्ट गर्ने यस्तो कुरा भएको हजुर हजुर यस्तो हाम्रो चाहिँ कस्तो हो भन्दाखेरि रेस्क्युमा हेल्प गर्ने हो होइन अब इन्डिया गएर चाहिँ लिएर आउँछु भन्ने चाहिँ छैन रेस्क्यु गरेर आइसकेकोसँग नि कोलाबोरेट गरेर उहाँहरूलाई कहाँ राख्ने अब माइती नेपालसँग पनि हामी कुरा भइरहेको हुन्छ होइन उहाँहरूसँग पनि कुरा भएर अनि कतिपय जस्तै दाङहरूमा त सबैजना पुग्नु भयो होला नि त्यहाँ लमही भन्ने थाहा छ त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ तपाईँहरूको स्लेभरी सिस्टम धेरै छ क्या बाउ आमाले नै आफ्नो बच्चाहरू बेचिदिने होइन किनभने उहाँहरूलाई पैसा चाहिन्छ त्यो भनेको चाहिँ त्यस्तो ठाउँमा गएर चाहिँ यस्तो नगर भनेर उहाँहरूले चाहिँ सर्टेन उहाँहरूलाई लिएर एउटा फाउन्डेसनमा राखेर उहाँको चाहिँ उहाँ जबसम्म पढ्नुहुन्छ तबसम्म हेल्प गरिदिएर यदि कोही चाहिँ बच्चा होइन म युएसए जान्छु भनेर कुरा गर्नु भएको छ भने नि उहाँहरूलाई प्रोसेस सिकाइदिएर उता गएर सेटल पनि गराउने गर्नुहुन्छ कि जस्तै अहिले त धेरैजना गइसक्नु भएको हो इभन मेरो भाइहरू 2 जना हुनुहुन्छ कमलेश र सञ्जय उहाँहरू पनि जानुभएको छ कि यो चाहिँ लेडिज भन्दा पनि अब तपाईँहरूको कन्डिसन हेरेर हुन्छ क्या अब जस्तै कोही कोही बच्चाहरू मेलै भनौँ न उहाँहरूको पनि त अब बाउआमा जस्तै हामी बाटोमा हेर्दाखेरि कतिजना बच्चाहरू त त्यो माग्दै हिँडिरहेको हुन्छ नि उहाँहरूको चाहिँ कन्डिसन डिपली बुझेर चाहिँ बल्ल हेल्प गर्ने जो पाए त्यसलाई चाहिँ होइन है फेरि Okay. Anything else?
डाटाहरू के छ सोध्नुदेखि
Do you have got any data?
नेपालमा आएर
Do I have any what?
Data.
महिला दिदीबहिनीहरू बेचिएको डाटा हैन
Do you have got any information about how many?
सबै कुराहरूको डाटाहरू के छ
Data on trafficking in Nepal? Absolutely. Okay, so since COVID, everything has gotten worse. But right now, over the past 2 years, over 40,000 people have been trafficked. I would say most of them women and children. Right now in the world, there was before COVID 40 million slaves in the world. After COVID, 50 million. It went up by 10 million. Many of them into forced marriages. 28 million in forced marriages, 2 million in forced labor. So many in the sex industry, 75% are women, and a number of them are also children. So we have at this point, and this is just the numbers we know, it's always a lot worse than what we know. There's about 2 million children that are in the sex slavery industry in the world. And Nepal needs to do a lot more work. I think that the work needs to happen, for me, as I've studied, it is through education and awareness and World Press Freedom Day, right? And getting this information out.
So it's International Press Freedom Day today, right? He wants to know what's the difference, what did you find the difference between Nepal and USA?
Okay, this is a great question. I'm a professor of the First Amendment. Right now, life is a little scary in America. We still have much greater freedom of the press, but there are people out there who are trying to power grab and choke that freedom. So I would say there is a lot more access, but there's also a lot of corporate buyout so that less and less people have a voice, which is why social media becomes so important and why we have to get technology out to everybody, to the voiceless, because that is the great equalizer. So I would say that the United States has still a thriving field of journalism. It's also, everything is changing right now because of climate change, migration, technology. Everything that was the old rules when I started are being thrown out, and we're kind of having to rebuild new. So all of you, if you take anything away, all of you have a voice. Use your voice. Come back. Hello. Come back. All of you have a voice. All of you use your voice. Right? Make sure if something isn't just, speak up about it. Don't be scared. You know, you're in this life, you've got to just do what feels right in your heart. And knock on doors and don't be afraid. And I still want to know why the one woman journalist in here, I have not heard her question yet. Can you ask me a question? Wait, no, she has the last question, yeah?
अनि यो तपाईँको अमेरिका र जस्तो नेपालमा त गभर्मेन्टले केही पनि पत्रकारहरूलाई त्यस्तो सहुलियत दिएको छैन होइन तर चाहिँ पत्रकारहरूलाई अमेरिकामा चाहिँ के व्यवस्था छ सरकारी तौरबाट के व्यवस्था गरिएको छ
He's asking like the government has not been any help for the journalists of Nepal. So anything from America, like any journalism that has been helped by the government of America to them.
No, that's the problem. It's privatizing a lot. But what you have to do are get citizens who care. Speak, get together. Create your own newspaper. Create your own radio show. Figure it out. Do it on your own. Be innovative. Think critically. Think outside of the box. Be creative. Do something no one has ever done before. Does that make sense? Yes? Do you understand? No? I bow my two. I know it's not easy to do what you do. I cannot thank you enough for having me here. It has been such an honor. If any of you, one last thing. We are putting together a media company in New York that will, this is very important, that will be work together with the Nepalese immigrant populations and with the Nepalese here on the ground. So if any of you would like to get involved in that initiative, we'd love to have you. Can you, this is important. One last thing.
सो यो अलि इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ सुनिदिनु होला है उहाँहरूले चाहिँ मिडियाको एउटा ग्रुप बनाउँदै हुनुहुन्छ न्युयोर्कमै सो यदि हजुरहरू कोही इन्ट्रेस्टेड हुनुहुन्छ म पनि यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ पार्ट लिन चाहन्छु सो द्याट युल ह्याभ एन अपर्च्युनिटी बाहिर गएर आफ्नो भोइस राख्नलाई होइन त्यस्तो छ भने चाहिँ तपाईँहरू उहाँसँग कुरा गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ है
What?
फाइनली
What? Yes? Hello, what did you say? Come on up to the front.
अगाडि आउनु the media thing from the New York. She just want to ask like how can we come and involve.
Come talk to me afterwards. I'm here. I'll give you my cards. Maya Garchu, the reason why I never learned Nepalese is because everybody always wants to practice their Angrezi with me. So I will learn. One day I will speak a big amount. Ramocha. Okay, Maya Garchu, thank you all for having me. And if you're interested, come, I'll give you a card. Happy World Press Freedom Day. Go out there, be innovative.